What's up, beautiful people? Kirby Hasseman here, trying to deliver you just a little bit more marketing joy. And today I want to talk to you about how and why to do a customer appreciation show. I want to give you sort of the step-by-step things to think about, how you can put it together, and why it could have a really great impact on your business. But first, if you're getting any value out of these, whether it's a podcast or the video that you're listening to, please feel free to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to. Feel free to rate the podcast if you're enjoying it as well. That way we help a few more people follow along and grow their business and hopefully build some impact in their business and in their life. So thank you so much for following along. So as I said, today we're going to talk about how to create a customer appreciation event, an event where you can not only show your team, your clients' appreciation, but also build the opportunity for sales as well. But first, I want to talk a little bit about why, right? Like, why would you want to create a customer appreciation event? Because let's face it, it's a lot of calories to burn, right? You're going to put in some work. You're going to put in some time, treasure, and talent if you want to do this and do it right. So why would you do that? Well, first, I'm reminded of the statistic that says that 69% of customers that leave you because of perceived indifference. So in other words, nearly 70% of clients that leave because they just don't think you care. They don't think you'll notice. I think that's a really interesting statistic, scary, but also encouraging. It's scary because, people might be leaving your business just because you haven't been grateful. And that's concerning, right? If you are the leader of an organization. But it is exciting because it's really pretty easy to fix on a consistent basis. There are a lot of ways that you can go to your customers and show appreciation, but that's, all of those tactics are for another video. But a customer appreciation event is a big statement of appreciation, a big statement of gratitude where you can get together, thank people for their business, thank them for their support of your organization in a meaningful way. So that's sort of the number one thing. It really helps you deepen relationships because it gets people out of the office and you can have some one-on-one conversations. You can laugh and joke and kind of experience something together. And so it helps deepen relationships. And let's face it, it also creates business opportunities. Right? If you do what I'm about to talk about, it gives you an opportunity to showcase your wares, your services, your products in a way that you wouldn't do on a sales call. So for an example, we do a customer appreciation event. We've done an end user event, however you want to call it. We've done one for, it's been almost 20 years now. It's actually, I got to go back and figure out the year we started it. And we started it truly as a pure customer appreciation event. We wanted to just put together an event where we showed people how much we appreciated their support in their business. And it's evolved, right? It's evolved from, the kegger at mom's house to something where we put in real time, real effort, real strategy into it. And so when we have vendors set up and they get to showcase their lines or their products or their services, they can do it in a way that's even more meaningful than we can because they know their lines even better. And we can showcase more of those lines, because we can't fit all of that in our vehicle, even with the best of intentions. And the other piece of it is, even though we work hard to understand what's going on in our customers' business and in their campaigns, there are some things we just don't know about. And so giving them an opportunity to experience all of those services or products on their own, sometimes they uncover opportunities we didn't even know about. And so that's sort of the why. Why would you do it? And now let's dig into the how, right? Here's some steps to creating a customer appreciation event that would have some impact. So first things first, find the venue. For us, we do it, and it's a fairly local event. So we do it at a local venue. If you draw an hour and a half circle around our area, many of our clients fall within that. So it's a drivable distance for us. So we select a venue. We've done it at multiple venues around our community. Last year, we did it at a local church, which I attend, and it was wonderful. It had AV support. It had big open spaces. It had great sound. And so it was a wonderful venue. And I believe selecting that venue is really important first, so that you kind of know what's the space going to look like, how many people can I invite, how many vendors can I invite, all that sort of thing. So first things first, select the venue. Now, if you're saying to me as you hear this, well, that's all great, but I don't have clients nearby. My clients are spread out. One of the things I've seen people do is they will create the event, whatever that event might look like, around a specific event that's already happening. So this isn't a specific customer appreciation event, but there's an organization called commonsku that we do business with. They actually create one of their educational events the day before a huge industry event, which is where all their customers are going to be anyway. So you could do the same thing where you could look at, hey, is there a conference that a lot of my clients already go to? Could you do something the day before? Could you host something, on one of the off nights? Don't use location as an excuse not to do it. Get creative here. But one of the first steps is to select the venue. Next step, create a theme. I'm a big believer of creating a theme around the event. We do this every year. We do a different event theme each year, and it allows us to showcase our creativity and kind of have fun so it doesn't feel like the same event every year. Last year, we did a night at the movies. And so we had different music around that. We had food around that. We had, everything was built. We even created a logo. Actually, as it's right here, we actually created a logo that had our Circle H built into it. It was a night at the movies. And so every year we create a theme that we can have some fun and some creativity. Step 3, identify your partners or your vendors. Who are you going to showcase at the event? Now, sometimes, hey, I don't want to highlight different vendors. I'm just going to highlight my own stuff. Well, maybe it's product lines within your company, but how does it break out so that someone who comes through the event gets a little extra special time with each place? Identify what that's going to look like, what those tables are going to look like, what the focus is going to look like. For us, it's vendors, it's partners. For our event, we have different supplier partners that come every year, and they can showcase what's new and what's hot, and they can speak to it, quite frankly, in more intelligently than we can about their line because they work on it every day. So find the venue, create a theme, and identify partners. Next up, make sure you try to address all the senses, right? I mentioned the theme, and then we build around that. So we have food around the theme. Last year it was night at the movies. So we wanted to make sure that you had the smell of popcorn, and we had popcorn as a part of it. We had chocolate. So there's the food, music, right? All of the music was built around movie themes. We had visual. We actually went to a local movie theater, Shelby Theater, shout out to them. And they gave us cutouts from some of their movies so that we had that as decorations. We built other decorations, part of that. And then, of course, we had some really cool branded merch that we built the theme around, just like the tumbler you just saw. So address all of the senses. I always think about, okay, what are they going to hear? What are they going to see when they walk into the venue? The other thing we did is we did videos on the screens. I talked about the AV capabilities. So when they walked in, there was things moving around, there was music. It was a spectacle, and that was really cool. Next up, promote and get an RSVP list. Do your best to get a sense of how many people are going to be there. Maybe you do a landing page where there's an RSVP, do an invite so that people know to come and let you know that they're going to be there. That helps for planning when it comes to food and branded merch and all that sort of thing. But to be honest, we tried to get people to register for years, and we had very limited success. And then we created a VIP gift around people who registered early. And then all of a sudden, our pre-registrations really skyrocketed. We probably tripled or quadrupled the number of people who pre-registered by doing some sort of cool pre-registration gift. And so then that allows you to communicate with them in advance, let them know where everything is, give them reminders that it's coming up, and get people on a list so you can do something special. Then, next step is give merch at the theme that ties to the event. For our event, we actually partner with our supplier partners, and we'll do things at each one of their tables, or they come to the check-in counter and give us their information, and we give them merch then. And the whole idea is to give them something that ties to the theme, but is also useful, right? So each year we want to have a bag that they can put different things in. We want them to have a notepad and pen that they can write notes with. We encourage our clients to come with ideas and projects on their mind so that they can get the most out of the event. But give merch that ties to the theme and is useful. Next up, make it fun. Right? If it's something like this, it shouldn't be too serious. We should give people an opportunity to have fun. Now, whether that means having great food or drinks or music or whatever, but try to tie it into something where it's business. Like we promote really heavily that we want them to come and do business and be prepared so that they feel good leaving work to do it. but we also want it to be fun, because if they do it once, they have a good time, they get some value out of it, they'll do it again. And my final thought is follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. And so when people come, we have them sign in, we get their contact information so that we can follow up, not just from a sales perspective, though that's certainly a piece of it, right? But something where we can kind of remind them of the emotions and the fun that they had the day of the event. The fortune is always in the follow-up. So for our event, we create a sequence after that event. We tag people in that sequence. They get an email right away. They get an email a week after. They get an email a month later. The idea that, hey, we are diligent in our follow-up, and that makes all of that worthwhile. Sort of my bonus thought is then track the people who came, track the feedback that you got, track if there was any business that came from it, and you can start to justify this. For years and years and years, I don't think I could have justified it though. The ROI was difficult with metrics, but when people were talking about it for the next year about how much value they got or how much fun they had, if the reminder of what you were doing to begin with was to show appreciation for those who love and support you, then that can be worth it for a few years until you build up, a business case around it. So that's my tips on why to do some sort of customer appreciation event, regardless of what industry you're in, but also just some steps on how to put one together and some things to think about. I hope that's provided you just a little bit of value. And if so, please feel free to subscribe as always, and feel free to share with somebody who might need to see this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll keep them coming. See you next time.